Hey guys, it's Michaela and you're watching FunsizedStyle. So it feels really foreign to me to be filming this video and just being in front of the camera in general. The previous video that I uploaded, I did not intend to step away from YouTube for an extended period of time. For about a month actually, I have been away and again, had absolutely no intention. If I know there's going to be a period in my life that I'm not going to be able to upload for a certain amount of time, I will either try to pre-film at least 1 or 2 videos, or I will at least let you guys know, like, hey, this is going on in my life, and I'll at least film a video to let you guys know that that's happening or what's happening. And I did neither of those things. And so because I did neither of those things, I know there are many of you that are wondering where I've been and what's been going on, especially if you don't follow me on Instagram. Instagram is the platform that I'm most active on. If you're ever wondering where I am, Instagram is the place to be, because no matter what's going on in my life, good or bad, I am letting you know on there. It's just a lot quicker of a way to update everyone and just post about my life on there than it is here on YouTube, which is bummy because I love YouTube the most. I think Instagram is a pretty close second, but YouTube is just so interactive. I like speaking my thoughts out loud and just sharing. It gets me down when I'm not able to be as active on this platform. So that's kind of my way, I guess, of apologizing that I didn't have content for you for months. This past month has been insane. There's so much to update you guys on and so much to say. So the last video that I left off on was about my spinal. Well, I had told you guys about my research fund, and I'm gonna touch a little bit on that in this video, but I'm also going to do an entire separate video as its own update on the research fund. I'm absolutely blown away and I cannot wait to tell you guys everything. But today's video is just going to be a life update, just a general life update and where I've been. I, to be honest, don't even know where to begin because there's so much to say. Oh, as I was saying, sorry, I'm so out of the loop of filming, but the last video that I left up on was the research fund update, and I told you guys I'm going to be doing a separate update about the research fund, but I am going to touch on it a little bit in this video. Before that, it was my previous video about my spinal fusion experience and recovery, and the outcome of my spinal fusion surgery and all the details of my extremely unexpected extended hospital stay as a result of having that surgery. I was inpatient for 28 days, as you guys know, so there's been a lot to fill you in about what transpired during that stay, and I haven't finished that yet, so I haven't finished uploading those videos yet, so you will see those videos coming next, and there's still 2 or 3 more videos about my spinal fusion surgery that will be coming about, like, the stay itself and the outcome and how. But I also wanted to let you guys know that because in this video I am going to touch on a little bit of a complication that I've been having as a result of the surgery, which I felt weird putting that in this video because I still have those other videos to upload about my surgery and about the recovery and how it went, and all of those videos are so celebratory, and it's really hard for me to celebrate right now as far as that because I am struggling so much with it. I struggled with wanting to bring this up, life update, because again, these next videos that you'll see are so celebratory. I don't want you guys to think that those videos are now irrelevant, because they're not. I still very much celebrate this miracle, and it is a miracle, and I overcame the most difficult part, and still so much good has come out, and this is all part of the journey, the year-long recovery, and I want to bring you guys along for all of that. But I just felt that it's weird that I'm celebrating all these things and then telling you that something bad is happening and then go back to the celebratory part, and it's just a little bit all over the place. But honestly, that's my life right now. It's all over the place. So I am going to touch on the complications that I've been having, but just know the next videos that you're gonna see about my spinal fusion surgery are not irrelevant, and I still very much celebrate this miracle, and all of these things, all of those things in those videos still matter, and they're still a part of this miracle and the story, and I don't regret doing this surgery. What I'm going to tell you today, you might think that, and I'd be lying if I had moments lately, this past month really, of what did I do? Did I make the right decision? But all in all, I still keep going back to, yes, I did make the right decision, but I am going to share with you what's been going on. Lastly, I am going to share something that's been going on in our family. Like I said, life lately has just been crazy. A lot of bad stuff. A common phrase that you guys may have heard is every day may not be good, but there's something good in every day, and that's something that I'm definitely clinging to lately in a season that honestly feels like a nightmare. These are all the things that I've been struggling with lately and dealing with that has caused me to step away from social media unexpectedly. I'm just going to go ahead and finally get right into them. The first thing that I want to mention, they're all big things, which is why I'm including them in this life update. A couple of weeks ago, my grandma passed away, as we call her, Grams. She was 91 years old, and she was absolutely incredible. She passed away from just a long battle with her health, and over the past 2 or 3 years, it just really started to deteriorate, and she had a lot of mini strokes, and then she just had like a big stroke, and ever since that big stroke, like that was it, and her body just started shutting down. So she passed away. So we recently had her funeral and celebration of life, and we're really grateful to our friends and family that came to support us and celebrate her and pray for us during this difficult time. I come from an older family, and what I mean by that is my mom had my twin brother and I when she was older. Like obviously there's like a certain age range that people typically have kids. Mom and dad had us when they were a little older. A lot of the relatives in my family are older, and especially on my mom's side. I don't really have a ton of family close by, especially on my mom's side. My dad's side, I have a few real aunts and uncles nearby. I spent so much of my life with my Grams. My mom and her mom were really close, and I don't know if I mentioned this, but my grandma, this was my mom's mom. They were extremely close, inseparable, and we spent my entire life with her. Like, she did everything with us, came to everything and all my school events, and like my biggest fan, and truly was a big part of our life. Coming from an older family, I have experienced a lot, but this was definitely one of the biggest losses, for sure. Probably the biggest loss that I've ever experienced. That has affected me personally, and so it's just been a big adjustment for our family. Our whole life has changed. Like, it will never be the same. There were so many times that we thought she'd be gone, and then she bounced back. It was pretty surreal because it was like she didn't bounce back from this. I have to slowly watch someone like fade away really, really hard. And so that's been a big event in our life. We've just been taking care of everything that goes along with that, the funeral planning and all of that. It's over now. Like, we had a funeral and everything and a celebration of life. She was incredible, and it's such a huge part of my life, the biggest part of my life. My dad's mom is still very much alive and well, and is a huge part of our life as well. My grandpas, the one I got to meet, but I was a newborn, and my other grandpa I never got to meet. He passed away before I was born. So I never had any grandpas in my life while I've been alive. I just have my grandma on my dad's side, and so that's been just a huge, like I said, huge adjustment for our family, and such a reminder of how short life is. Like, yes, she was 91, and that is such an incredibly long and amazing life, but for me, like, I'm only 22, and I've had her in my life, like, my whole life. Like, now she's not here physically anymore, and she was, like I said, involved in every aspect of our life, and so things will just be really different. That's kind of it on that. There's not really much else to say about that. I've been going through it. There's been a lot of loss in our family, my mom's side, so just a lot of loss in our family. So hopefully we'll be experiencing a period soon where there's less of that. I just want to thank you guys for your prayers, because I know so many of you heard about this on Instagram when I posted about it, and so I just wanted to say thank you for lifting us up and praying for us as we go through the chapter in our life. Just know that we really appreciate your prayers, everything that you guys have done to support our family and support me, and they just really appreciate it. This will kind of be a good segue into what I'm going to talk about next. Oftentimes when someone passes away, a family will write in the person's obituary in lieu of flowers to donate to a specific organization or cause or something like that. And like I said, my grams and I were really close. She told everybody and their mother about me all the time and all the things that I was doing, and we were just really close and did everything with our family. And she was always so proud of everything that I ever did, including this fund. It was already set up by the time she had her big medical crisis, but then I don't remember if I ever had that, or if my mom ever had the opportunity, or we ever told her about it, or what it was, or what it meant, or anything like. So I can't remember if we ever had the chance to officially tell her about it, or what it meant. I don't think so or not, but I know that she would have been so proud of me, and any little thing I did, like, she was so proud. My family came to me and asked me in lieu of flowers in her obituary if they could put my research fund, Michigan Medicine. So I was so touched by that, that my family chose to do that, to choose my research fund for our loved ones to support in honor of her. They told me that they had no doubt that this is what she would have wanted them to do. That really meant a lot to me. They could have picked so many different organizations or causes, chose my research fund. At the funeral, the girl that I work with my research fund, that is like manages it for me, she created envelopes, my Graham's name in memory of, and then envelopes that we could set out on the table at her funeral and the visitation, like, celebration part of it. And want to send a huge thank you to our friends and family that took one of those envelopes and donated to my research fund in honor of her. And I know that she would be so proud, and I just want to send a huge thank you to my family for choosing my research fund, and also to our friends and family that chose to support my fund, which I really did not expect that at all. So thank you so much, and it truly means so much. It's been a huge blessing and just a really great honor. And segueing into that, I wanted to update about my research fund. I'm going to do a whole separate video about an update about the research fund, so I'm not going to go too in depth here, but I just wanted to acknowledge it and say thank you to you guys who have chosen to support this fund. This fund has only been around for a month already, and we are already in the 4 digits of how much we have raised so far. I am continually blown away. I honestly did not expect to raise this much money in such a short amount of time, especially considering I have a smaller community. I really wasn't sure what kind of response that I would get or support that I would get with the fund, but it has truly been overwhelming in the best way possible. I can't wait to share with you all that we're going to be able to do with this fund. I'm not going to give, even in the research update video, I'm not going to be giving an exact amount of how much we've raised so far yet, because the person at Michigan Medicine that is helping me coordinate the fund is like, helps manage it, so I don't have to do any of the legality stuff or logistics. Like, I just get to organize the fundraisers for it and be like the poster child for it, everything like that. So they do all like the track of everything, the legalities of it, the money managing, like they do it all. Like, incredible. The reason I'm not going to say how much we've raised yet is because we're going to be doing like a reveal thing at my hospital to my surgeon, and we're going to surprise her with how much I've raised so far. So we're going to be doing that probably within the next month or two. There's a lot of like planning that goes into this and what we want to do with the surprising her, telling her how much we raised so far. She knows that I have the fund, and because she's the project investigator, the PI, so she's the project investigator for the fund, she's the only one that has access to the fund. She knows about it, but she doesn't know how much we raised so far yet. So, and there's a reason to that, which again, I'll share all of that soon, but that's why I'm not going to share the exact amount that we've raised so far. But just know we are in the 4 digits, and it's incredible. I also want to let you guys know the Life is Worth Fighting For t-shirts are still available. I said in the original video that those shirts were going to be stopped. I was going to stop selling those shirts June 16th, but then 2 days before it ended, I got like 10 more sales, and like you guys have really just been loving the shirts. I've sold 42 of them so far, and I can't believe it. So that's way more than I thought I would sell, honestly, because again, it's a smaller community, but you guys have blown me away, and again, thank you. The support that I've gotten, it's incredible, and you guys are starting to receive your shirts now, and I love seeing the pictures. So if you ordered a shirt, or you're planning on ordering a shirt, please send me a picture on Instagram. It means the world to me to see you guys wearing these shirts. I love that you guys are sending me pictures. It truly means everything. It's absolutely incredible to see you guys wearing these, and it just brings us all together as a community, and these shirts mean so much to me. They truly mean so much, and this research fund is just such a passion project of mine. With what I'm going to tell you about next, it motivates me even more to want to do so much with this fund, and to hopefully see a day that no one ever has to experience the pain that I have the past 9 months. It's not that I regret doing this, but this is unlike anything I imagined it would be. I couldn't have even begun to imagine what it would have been like, but I don't know what I thought it was going to be like, but definitely not like this. And as I mentioned when I talked to you guys about the research fund and announced it officially, musculoskeletal conditions like osteogenesis, imperfecta, and scoliosis are some of the most under-researched, underfunded areas of medicine, and it's because of, again, lack of funding, and people don't see musculoskeletal conditions as important as others, and most people don't think that scoliosis could take someone's life. Following my journey, you understand that if I would have done nothing, my life would have been shortened. And to think that a condition like that could have taken my life is just like, and I wanted to do everything I could to stop the inevitable. And I didn't want to sit and wait for someone else to make a research fund, or raise more money, or do this or do that, because so many people that have scoliosis, or that have osteogenesis imperfecta, or that have both, they always say there needs to be more research, there needs to be more funding, but they're not willing to step up and be a part of it. And I wanted to not wait around for someone else to step up, because odds are nobody else will. I remind people that we all can't do everything, but we can all do something. And I just want you guys to know that just being a part of this community and allowing me to use my voice to spread awareness and do things with this fund to help support the lives of other people that have gone through this, and hopefully see a day where no one else has to go through this, like, truly means the world. And so I can't wait to share with you guys the research fund update and what's been happening with that, what's going to be happening with that, what I've been doing, what else I've been doing with it, and as far as generating ideas of what to do next, and how the funds are going to be used, and going forward, and it's just incredible. And I think we're going to be able to do some really great things with the money that has been raised so far. But this is going to be something that I have to continue. Like, money is going to run out, the research does need to continue, and it does cost money, and so I will be doing at least 3 times a year. I'll be launching a new kind of fundraiser, either involving you guys as well, or just in my local community somehow. So if you guys have any ideas of things that I could do to raise money for this fund, definitely leave them in the comments below. I have a few ideas, but I'm always looking for more because, like I said, this is going to be a lifetime project for me, a lifetime passion for me. I don't know if we'll see a cure for scoliosis in my lifetime. I doubt it. I want to be a part of it. But that can only happen with research funding. So let me know if you guys have any ideas, or if you're in Michigan and you would like to partner with me and do something locally. I would really appreciate that as well. If you have a business and you would like to partner with me and support the Michaela Davert Osteogenesis, Imperfecta, and Scoliosis Research Fund at Michigan Medicine, you can also email me in the email in the description box below. Reach out to me in some way. More details on the research fund coming soon, but thank you guys so much for making this dream a reality. The last thing that I want to touch on in this video is the hardest for me to talk about. Talking about it, sick of talking about it, which I know that sounds weird, but because I haven't uploaded on here, but I've been talking a lot about it on Instagram and the family because everyone wants to know how I'm doing. It's really nice, but sick of talking about it. I'm gonna say this in as of a shortened version as I can. So back in April, I started, end of April, it was like end of April, first week of May or something, I started to feel one of the screws in my back. So if you don't know, I have 2 Harrington rods and then 20 screws, pedicle screws. I started to feel one of the screws move. And so I went down to Ann Arbor, got an x-ray, because I'm like, oh boy, here we go again. Like, can I have to go through this again? Obviously, like, that's always a risk. My bone quality is not good. Again, if you want to learn why I'm doing this, you can catch up on my scoliosis playlist. But so I got the x-ray, and it showed nothing. Like, it showed everything was perfect. It's great, but it didn't explain the pain. I was like, okay, well, maybe I'm just having because recovery is not linear, especially with undergoing 16 hours with a spinal surgery. Like, I'm not deemed fully recovered until a year. So for me, that would be January 2020. We knew this recovery is going to be long and intense and difficult and all of that. So I was like, well, maybe I'm just going through a rough patch. And it was only like 3 or 4 weeks after I'd finally turned a corner and my initial surgery pain like completely went away. It was weird. I woke up one morning and it just like totally changed. Like, it was gone. It was amazing. Like, the surgical pain was gone. And so it was just the hardware, which again I thought was weird, but I was like, whatever. So I was like, maybe I'm just going through a rough patch. And so several weeks later, it's still getting, you know, still there, whatever. And then a couple more weeks later, it's like progressively getting worse now. And I'm like, that's really weird. And so we did another x-ray, another set of x-rays, because I'm like, something's not right. I don't know what's going on, but this is like not, it was no longer like post-surgical pain. This was definitely hardware pain now. Post-surgical pain is gone. So they did another x-ray. Again, it showed nothing. It showed all the hardware is in place. And so I'm like getting a little frustrated at this point, but it's obviously nobody's fault. And of course, like, I don't want there to be something wrong, but like, again, going through my hearing loss journey of like knowing something was wrong, but people not being able to find something, like, it just brings back a lot of things. So I trust my team. Like, they're the best. They know what's up. I trust them. And so I was like, okay, like, I'll keep waiting. Like, maybe I'm just really having a hard time. I don't take pain medication, by the way. I'm on nothing. I have not been on anything since this week of March. So yeah, I take nothing. This is like the first week of July, or the first day of July that I'm filming this. The whole month of June was just like a light bulb switched, or like a switch flip, not in a good way. It just keeps getting progressively worse, and it's like prevented me from doing things and wanting to do things because the pain has gotten so bad. And at this point, I'm starting to feel like a crazy lady, and it's not their fault. It's not my fault. It is what it is. My situation is really complex. And so they were like, okay, you know what, like, let's just do a CT scan. And so they scheduled it for like later, and then one morning I woke up and I was like, pain is so bad. I either need to have the CT scan done today somehow, like, you gotta squeeze me in, or I have to go to the emergency. They were able to get me into the CT scan that day. So we raced down to Ann Arbor. That was actually like a few days before my grandma passed away. And so, which it was like 2 days actually, but which I felt so bad, like, leaving my mom for the day for that, but, like, I had to go. I was in much pain. And so they checked my cervical spine, my thoracic spine, I'm totally saying that wrong, and lumbar spine. They checked it all. The CT scan was done without contrast. I don't know if that means anything to any of you. For context, it was done without contrast. This has got to show something, because a CT scan is more detailed than an X-ray, obviously, so they were checking for all kinds of, which I thought it was kind of weird they were checking my cervical spine, because I don't have any hardware in my cervical spine. I've never had surgery on my cervical spine, so I was like so hopeful. I was like, the scan's got to show something, because when this screw originally came out the first time after my first spinal surgery, that's what showed it finally, was the CT scans. I was like, thank gosh, like, they're finally going to do a CT scan, and this is what's going to show it, because it showed it the last time, and I was certain of it, and I was like, this whole month and a half of pain, like, is finally going to be answered. Like, we're finally going to have the answer, and I'm not going to feel like a crazy lady, and it's going to show, because it did the last time. Well, I had the scan, and it showed nothing. It showed everything was absolutely perfect. I still 1,000% convinced that a piece of hardware is loose, and I'm not like the hypochondriac kind. In fact, I'm more of the I'm fine until everything's really not fine kind of person. Like, I won't say something is not fine unless it's really not fine, if that makes sense. And it's really tricky because the pain that I have is progressing every single day. It gets worse every single day, and it's weird to have, I've never been in a medical situation where things just like decline, like no improvement, and this pain only worsens. And I'm so convinced that a piece of hardware is loose. I feel it moving, and the pain is, it's a sharp pain, and it's not muscle pain, it's not bone pain. It's the post-surgical pain is completely gone. That's been gone since like the first week of April, last week of March, something like that. So I know it's hardware. My team is really not concerned, but just confused on what to do. At this point, they don't want to expose my body to more radiation. I've had a lot of it lately. 2 or 3 sets of x-ray and a CT scan within like 2.5 months. It's kind of a lot. Well, plus I had a CT scan also for my bone anchored hearing aid placement surgery. I don't know if I ever officially announced that I'm doing that, but this video, or that was already planned. Like that, the CT, or the prep CT for that, so she would know like where to put it and make sure that my ear was healthy and stuff. We planned before I even had my halo off. There's a way to like schedule it so far out or whatever. So this has been planned. So one day while I was down there, I just had the CT scan for that. So within like 2 months, I've had 2 CT scans and 2 or 3 sets of x-rays. And so I've been exposed to a lot of radiation. And so my surgeons don't really want me to do an MRI right now. People say like, you're in debilitating pain. And obviously like I am, but not enough yet. For me, I guess. I'm not even taking like pain medication. Like I said, I'm so stubborn. Like, I don't take pain medication unless I'm like literally feeling like I'm dying. And it's just a really like sharp pain, and again, I can feel the hardware and everything. And so the only other thing I could really do at this point is an MRI. I may have one other thing in mind, but I didn't even open the message from my agents yet because I'm just burnt out and I'm starting to feel crazy. And they're not making me feel this way. Like, they're being very kind and feel really bad that they can't help me. But, well, I mean, not that they can't help me, but they can't find the problem yet. They're not giving up, but I sort of am, in terms of like finding the solution. Trying to figure out how to best help me without exposing my body to more radiation right now, since I've been exposed to so much of it. And not that that's not a concern to me. Like, I know it's not good to be exposed to a lot of radiation, but at the same time, I'm like, it's not really important to me right now. Like, I don't care how much radiation I'm exposed to. Like, I just need to get the stabbing pain out of my back. And I guess the part that scares me the most is like, it's just worsening every day. And I've never been in a medical situation where it continues to decline every day. Never experienced anything like this. That's kind of what's been going on. It's been limiting my wanting to go out, my wanting to do things, and that's not me. If you know me in real life, like, I don't let stuff stop me, and it's not that I want to, but like, it's hard because no one knows what it's like because they haven't in my life, like my family life. No, it's hard when no one knows how to help me, and my team isn't giving up. They're trying to piece it all together and figure out what to do. And I've been having like some neck pain and like neck weakness lately, and I told them about it. We can't figure out what's going on with that either because they did scan my cervical spine and it all came out fine. So we don't really know what's going on. It's just a very weird phenomenon right now, and it's making me feel a little crazy. And there's just nothing in the world worse feeling than when you feel something and you're in such debilitating pain and you know something's not right in your body and no one knows how to help you or can find the source of the problem because they can't fix it until they know what's wrong. And a lot of people, like I've talked a lot about this on Instagram, but people are like, what about an exploratory surgery? Obviously you guys know what a huge risk that these spinal surgeries are to me, and so, and anytime, whether you're high risk or not, anytime you have surgery that involves the spinal cord, there's a risk of becoming paralyzed. So there's really no such thing as an exploratory spinal surgery. I don't know, there might be, but my team definitely would not do that for me. So, the pain is it's unreal, and it's just scary because wow, today is really bad, but I know tomorrow's gonna be, I know it's a horrible attitude to have, but like, that's just like what it's been like, and so I just kind of have to like literally enjoy each day because I know that the next day is gonna be worse than today was, and it's just really taken a toll on me physically and mentally, and I feel like I've missed out on a lot. I have missed out on a lot. I haven't been able to do the things that I want to do because of this pain, and it's hard to believe in 2 months it will be a year since I have been placed in Halo traction, and it just feels like a year of my life has been wasted, and I know it hasn't. This is where God wants me to be right now, but I just never had a year where like I feel like I literally accomplished nothing, any of my goals, any of my whatever, you know, like I've never had a year like this where I feel like I've accomplished nothing, and I'm a very goal-oriented, like I'm always on the go kind of person. But this video is so long, so I'm going to go ahead and end it, but these are the things that I've been struggling with lately and things that have just been really, really hard. And honestly, just sitting here talking to you, like, really hard to put towards pain. Like, nobody knows what it's like, and to just not know how to help you, it's indescribable. It's just, I just want the screw to, like, pop out of my skin so that I can, like, go down there and be like, see, here it is. You know, that sounds horrible, but it's never an easy fix. For me, it's never finding the cause of a problem is never an easy thing for me, but this has been the most difficult yet. It's been every day right now for the past month. I feel like I'm living in a nightmare, a literal nightmare. Anyway, this is my life update. I know it was incredibly depressing, except for the research fund. I think that was pretty exciting, but I know this life update was incredibly depressing, but that's just kind of how life has been lately. Really, really, really hard. Waiting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I don't know when that will be, but I'm waiting. But thank you guys for sticking around. I'm hoping to be back uploading more consistently for you. I have so much content. I just film some of it and edit and upload it. As you guys can tell, I've truly been going through the unimaginable the past month and a half. It's just hard going through something where nobody around you is going through it, and like they don't know what it's like, and they just expect you to. And it's hard because everything in my life, like physical wise, like medical wise, I've always been able to push through, but like this is unlike anything I've ever experienced, and it's been really hard. I'm gonna stop complaining and be grateful for the outcome that I had. But if you guys could pray for a miracle that we can figure this out, the source of pain and the loose hardware stuff, please do that for them so that I can get my life back, so that I can get back to traveling and doing things and accomplishing my goals and moving out on my own and having my own place and gaining independence. And just like right now I miss my pre-fusion life, and I don't want to be like that. I don't want to miss it because God wants me to be right now, but right now I do my pre-Halo and pre-surgery life. But again, I'm still so grateful for this miracle that he gave me through that, and I'm holding on to that. I've never experienced this long of a hard time, except for when I was in Halo, but I knew there was going to be an end to that, you know what I mean? But this, I'm not seeing the end yet, but Okay, I said I was going to end it a while ago. I really am. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for your support and your love and your prayers and for being a part of this community. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!